Bruh.
How the would you know that?
Just one of those things where I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why I can't get no, I guess progressive, sharpness coming into camp. Like, I don't know why it's not picking up, but we still were confident.
Did you not test positive?
What?
Did you not test positive?
What you got to say at
Did
the
you plead guilty to testing positive?
Truth. Did not take no Ostrine and I
Hey,
you up.
listen,
That's it.
ask him why didn't Derek James do the weight
Didn't
cut
take
line?
Ostrine and I you up. That's
Ask
it.
him.
Ryan Garcia just can't catch a break. Fresh off a heartbreaking loss, he now faces a new wave of backlash, this time from fans and critics questioning his legitimacy as an elite boxer. The narrative is brutal. Many believe the Flash can't hang with the best unless he's juiced. But Ryan isn't staying silent. He's finally spoken out, and what he said might just surprise you. Let's dive in. Ryan Garcia just suffered a heavy loss to Romero, and man, what a setback this is for his career. It's not just another L on his record, it feels like a major derailment. His big plans for a rematch against Haney? Those are basically off the table for now. The legacy-defining fights he was chasing, they're suddenly way out of reach. But what's maybe even more damaging is what this loss has done to his reputation. Because it wasn't just about losing, it was about how he lost.
Ryan Garcia, that last fight against
Oh my God! A double hook, short hook, caught Ryan right on the chin, dropped him in the second round.
If you watched the fight, you probably noticed it too. Ryan didn't look like himself. He seemed different, hesitant, almost like he was second-guessing every move. This wasn't the same guy with that insane stat line of 20 knockouts in 24 wins. You expect fireworks when Ryan steps into the ring, but this time, the spark just wasn't there. Something was missing, and you could feel it. Even Ryan admitted it. In the post-fight press conference, he opened up and said he felt off during the fight, that something just didn't seem right in there.
You want me to make a statement?
Yeah, make a statement.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't a good night for me. It was a pretty off night.
At first glance, it might have sounded like the usual thing fighters say when they're trying to make sense of a bad night. Fighters have off nights. It happens. But this time, it wasn't just a throwaway comment. It triggered a bigger conversation, one that's now putting Ryan's whole career, his reputation, and even his elite status under the microscope.
But just even in the start of the fight, it just didn't feel like my feet were under me, like I had anything. But I tried to fight through it and just found myself very off after the year layoff.
Here's where things get even messier. A lot of fans and boxing journalists started connecting the dots, and the theory that's gained a lot of traction is this. Ryan Garcia didn't look like himself because he was clean, as in no performance-enhancing drugs in his system this time around. The argument floating around is that Ryan, without the secret juice, is just a regular fighter. Talented, sure, but nowhere near the elite level needed to dominate tough opponents like Romero.
But I'm not going to jump out there and accuse someone of something that I don't personally have all the information. That would be me.
Now, that's a heavy accusation. We're talking about questioning the very foundation of his career, but people aren't pulling this out of thin air. To really understand why these suspicions are gaining steam, you have to go back to his previous fight against Haney. When Ryan fought Haney, he shocked a lot of people. He looked sharp, explosive, and honestly the best we've ever seen him. He was faster, stronger, and he dominated huge stretches of that fight in a way that had people wondering if Ryan Garcia had finally turned the corner and was ready to sit at the grown-ups table with boxing's best.
As frequently as it needs to happen. Oh, he's got him right to get.
The way Ryan Garcia schooled Haney, it was honestly shocking. He made it look easy, like Haney was just some amateur who didn't even belong in the same ring. It wasn't supposed to go down like that. Haney was undefeated, one of the sport's brightest rising stars, a guy who had carefully built a reputation for being technically sound, slick, and nearly untouchable.
Did he do enough? 3 knockdowns usually does the...
So naturally, after that fight, the big question everyone was asking was, how in the world did Garcia make it look so effortless? How could he just walk through an undefeated champion like it was nothing? It didn't take long for things to get messy. Shortly after the fight, the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association dropped a bombshell. Garcia had tested positive for Ostarine, a banned performance-enhancing drug. Not just once, but twice. Once the day before the fight, and again on the day of the fight itself. The news rocked the boxing world. It wasn't just some afterthought. This was a huge deal.
What's up, everybody? I came on here to address this bull claim that I cheated.
Lies.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that I don't cheat. What can I say? Why didn't they come out with this before, the fight? If they found it before, why would they let me step into the ring as a cheater and then come out with a victory and then they post this, Again, these are people that are trying to attack me for whatever reason, but no weapon against me shall prosper. I never taken steroid. I don't even know where to get steroids at the end of the day. I barely, take supplements. They're saying it's coming from the ashwagandha. Fucking retarded. So, at the end
Lies.
Of the day, big lies. I beat his ass out of here. Everybody go to Warwick tonight. It's lit.
And I was with
get
this
it.
guy every single day. Yeah, I never ever saw.
The Haney. What's up?
Because of the positive tests, the result of the fight was overturned. Instead of that career-defining victory, the bout was changed to a no contest. Garcia was fined a whopping $1.1 million and slapped with a 1-year suspension after he accepted a plea deal instead of dragging it through a long trial process. Just like that, all the momentum he had built, all the hype, all the respect he earned from dominating Haney, it vanished overnight.
Not so fast, Ryan Garcia. You can't blame Haney, and his team for an anti-doping test you voluntarily took. You chose to take that test. What that got to do with Devin Haney and his team? I am a fan of Ryan Garcia. I think that Ryan Garcia has the look, he has the vernacular, he has the presentation, where if this dude won in the boxing ring, he could promote the sport in ways most people couldn't in this country. We also saw you, Ryan Garcia, come to the weigh-in 3 pounds overweight. That doesn't sound like somebody who's disciplined enough to be as legitimate as possible and follow the rules and regulations. Now, does that mean you did steroids? No. I prefer to give you the benefit of the doubt, but the fact of the matter is, Ryan Garcia, you don't necessarily deserve it based on your behavior leading up to the fight and how you showed up at the weigh-in, completely disregarding the weight clause.
But here's the thing that really sticks with people. Yeah, this was the first time he got caught, but who's to say it was the first time he actually used anything? That's the part that stings for fans and casts a giant shadow over his entire career. Once you pop positive for PEDs, your whole resume becomes suspect. Every win, every knockout, every electric moment inside the ring. People start wondering, was that really him? Or was it the juice?
It's tricky, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's taking it, he's trolling right now, so the way he's going about it is like, it's either he don't give a f or he actually didn't test positive, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they really got to look into it. If you do come overweight, 3 pounds, and then now you tested positive, you know what I'm saying, for PEDs and stuff, yeah, they should do that. I'll be tight, man. I want to kill him, bro. I'll be tight, not because you came overweight and then now you using PEDs, like, it's crazy. But listen, man, I hope, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't have, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't test positive for that, you know what I'm saying, I hope it's a fluke. Because at the end of the day, those are both my boys, you know what I'm saying? And we grew up in the amateurs, they made millions, and they doing it for the sport.
And that's exactly what's happened with Ryan Garcia. His image took a massive hit. The American fighter who once looked like boxing's next golden boy suddenly found himself wearing the scarlet letter of a cheater. Whether it was fair or not, the court of public opinion was ruthless. Once trust is broken in boxing, a sport built on toughness, fairness, and pride, it's almost impossible to get it back.
Listen, I've had 50 positive drug tests in my promotional career for different fights. I know how it goes down, but this one was just like, obviously then you do your research into what it is, the amount.
Tested positive for 2 substances, right?
I believe that.
Did the second one get confirmed?
I don't think it did. No, I think it was just Osterine in terms of what come back. And one of the horrible things is it was on the night before the fight and it was on fight night. So you know categorically that it was in his system during the fight. Not they cycled out 12 weeks ago and it was in him in the fight. If I'm honest, knowing, being through all these different 50 cases and like stuff like that, it would lead me to believe that it was in relation to the weight cut.
Now, to be clear, Ryan never admitted to intentionally using any banned substances. He's been consistent in denying it. After the news broke, he was adamant that he's never cheated, not just in boxing, but in life in general. He even went as far as saying that he doesn't cheat in video games, let alone inside the ring where careers, legacies, and livelihoods are on the line.
That's a loaded question, bro. Some things need to be taken serious. There was many things that I said on my lead-up that were very serious. Child sex trafficking, very serious. And I'm still passionate about it. I'm still working behind the scenes against it. So there's a time and place for everything. This is not something to play with, bro. They're trying to say I'm a cheater, bro. I've never cheated in my life. I don't even cheat in video games. This is why I'm saying this is shit, bro. Do not believe the hype.
But here's the problem. The facts were sitting right there, plain as day. 2 positive tests, a no contest ruling, a hefty fine, and a suspension. You can deny it all you want, but to the boxing community, actions speak louder than words. And those actions screamed that something shady went down.
Bruh.
How the fuck would you know that? Come on now. They trying to play me, try to take my victory. I never took Sarah's life, never would. These motherfuckers are clowns. And we know damn well he don't really want the rematch because he just claimed I don't want no rematch. So there won't be no rematch. I beat the shit out of him. It was the easiest fight I've ever had in my life. So I'm not gonna fight him again. I felt like I was fighting an amateur. I made it look like he shouldn't even be in the ring with me. But if you want to do it again, I'm gonna end him even worse because he's never gonna be the same after that whooping. You take a whooping like that. Hey, and you pretty as shit. And you pretty as
Ryan, if you do it again, wait.
Are you requesting to be Sam?
Leading into his fight with Romero, the cloud of suspicion was still hanging over Ryan. It wasn't forgotten. In fact, it became a major talking point. Devin Haney and even his father openly confronted Garcia, calling him out for being a cheater. They weren't pulling any punches. They wanted the world to remember what happened. But Garcia? He stuck to his story. Over and over again, he denied it. No admissions, no apologies, just firm denial.
Did you not test positive?
What?
Did you not test positive?
What you got to say at
Did you plead guilty to testing positive?
Did not take no Ostrine and I f***ed you up,
Listen,
that's it.
Ask him why didn't Derek James do the weight cut
Didn't take
last?
Ostrine and I f***ed you up, that's
Ask
it.
him that. Ask him
Didn't take
that.
Ostrine and I f***ed you up.
Why didn't Derek James do his weight cut last fight?
Bill wants to know why Derek James didn't do the weight cut last time.
Quiet as a church mouse. What?
I don't know what he's asking. Derek's bitch was there the whole time.
Fast forward to the Romero fight. Ryan, by all appearances, was thoroughly tested and entered the fight clean, and he looked human. He didn't have that extra gear. He didn't have that pop that left opponents flinching. Instead, he looked like a guy struggling to pull the trigger, a guy who couldn't keep up when the pace got ugly. So, when you connect the dots, the rumors after Haney, the sudden drop-off against Romero, Ryan's own admission that he felt off, it's not hard to see why people are raising their eyebrows. In a sport like boxing, where the difference between good and great is razor thin, PEDs can make all the difference. And now, whether fair or not, a growing chunk of the boxing world is wondering, was Ryan Garcia ever really that guy? Or was it all smoke and mirrors?
I mean, that's just part of just me not, being as sharp as I could be. I just didn't really throw anything, to be honest. I mean, I was just throwing jabs and moving around. I just didn't feel there, didn't feel there at all. And, it wasn't a part of our game plan at all. Derek had a great game plan. There was a lot of opportunities there, especially when Rollies was going back. I just didn't let my hands go in any way, shape, or form. That was simple.
At the end of the day, Ryan Garcia had a golden opportunity to silence the critics, clear his name, and reclaim his reputation as one of boxing's brightest stars. But instead, he did the complete opposite. All the pieces were there. A victory over Romero and a clean drug test would have gone a long way in proving that the allegations against him were baseless, that he never needed any secret juice to compete at the elite level. It was his moment to show the world that his natural talent, not performance-enhancing drugs, was the true source of his success.
Throughout the camp, just couldn't get anything going, I felt, for myself in training camp. Like, I didn't feel like I had more conditioning or more energy or more sharp. I just feel like I couldn't, nothing was like, progressing in any way, and I just felt weird and off. And I would mention this to Derek, and, we were just trying to figure it out, but we only had 5 weeks together. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know why I can't get no, I guess, progressive, sharpness coming into camp. Like, I don't know why it's not picking up, but we still were confident. I mean, we're training. It's just nothing clicked. Nothing was clicking.
However, Ryan couldn't deliver when it mattered most. Not only did he fail to defeat Romero, but he also squandered a chance to put the controversy behind him once and for all. The loss left more questions than answers. Instead of shifting the narrative in his favor, he fueled even greater skepticism. Now, fans and analysts alike are left to wonder, was Ryan Garcia ever truly the lethal, explosive fighter we once believed he was? Or was his rise partly built on an advantage he can no longer access? Until he proves otherwise, the shadow of suspicion will continue to hang over his career, and that might be a far tougher opponent to beat than anyone he faces in the ring. But what about you, fight fans? Do you think Ryan Garcia can compete at an elite level without steroids? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.